Chapter 14. Chris. Walking up to her, I wrap my arms around her waist and ask, "So, what do you think, baby?" She turns around to look around, then says,
"It is very nice, I guess."
So I turn to Kate. I hold out my hand for the card back because I was going for "I love it," not "I guess." Kate tightens her hold on the card, holding it closer to her. After a moment of quiet, Rachel turns to me, so I put my hand down.
"Can we go?"
Rachel asks. But as I take a step to her, Kate walks up, putting her arm around Rachel's shoulders.
"But there is so much to see, sweetie. Let me give you a tour."
Smiling, I follow them around the cabin. We start at the back, where we find 2 rooms. The one on the right is set up as an office that is genuinely nice. The room on the left is a bedroom with a bed, dresser, and a closet that covers one wall with 2 doors on either side. Looking out the window, you can see the lake.
They didn't put up curtains because the view is so great, and it is very private here with the property having the privacy fence. The only way you can see in the property is the front gate or the lake,
Kate tells us.
"Is that why the office had that tent stuff on the windows, so when you are in there you can see the front gate, but no one can see in?"
Rachel asked. Thinking back, I step out of the bedroom, opening the office again to see what she is talking about. Damn, why didn't I notice that? As I close the door, the girls walk out of the room. Walking to the end of the hall, Kate opens a door on the left to us now to find a closet.
"This is a great little closet for shoes and jackets or to store things,"
Kate says with a smile, closing the door. Opening the door across the hall, we find a bathroom. There is a tub on the far wall. Walking past the sink, then the toilet, Rachel pulls the shower curtain back to look inside. Walking back out, she closes the door, then walks to the living room again.
"In here you have an incredibly open floor plan,"
Kate says, looking around, then she walks over to the sliding doors.
"This curtain can be closed to get more privacy if you like, but you don't have to worry about light on the TV with the porch."
Kate adds with a smile, then points to a door, so me and Rachel walk over, opening the door to find the master bedroom. Just like the other room, there is a bed, dresser, and closet with 2 doors, but unlike the other room, this one has 2 nightstands on either side of the bed. Rachel walks over to the door, opening to find the master bathroom.
"Wow,"
Rachel says, making me laugh. This bathroom is nice, and it is bigger than the bathroom at her house. Finishing her tour, we walk out to the back porch. Rachel and Kate sit at the table while I walk to the steps, looking at the yard. There is a small garden on one side. There is also a chain link fence on the back side, so people can't just walk up from the water. There's 2 gates on the fence. One opens to a loading ramp, and the other in the middle opens to a path leading to a small boat dock. Leaning on the rail, the only thing I don't like is there is no carport or garage out here. So I turn to Kate. "One thing sucks," I say, making her frown.
"That would be..."
she asks. "No garage," I tell her. That really is the only thing I see, or don't see, that is, that makes this place a dream, even for me. I really hope Rachel likes it too. Giving a laugh, Kate stands up.
"Follow me,"
Kate says, walking off the porch, so me and my girl follow. Walking to the left, Rachel stops at the small garden, so Kate stops too.
"This makes for a great garden."
"Yes, it would,"
Rachel answers, then looks at Kate, making her laugh. So we keep walking. I thought this tree line marked the end of the property, but we walk through the trees to find a huge garage. Kate opens the side door as she says,
"This was Fred's favorite place. The tree line hides it from the house."
Walking inside, my eyes go wide. Damn, this is nice. It has a car lift on the left side. On the right side, it is open space with drains in the floor. Looking at the back wall, there is a huge double door on the right side and toolboxes on the left. Walking over to the double doors, I open one to find a private fence.
This side of the property is very private. If you open the gate, there is another loading dock. Fred said he works on the boat over here,
Kate says, waving to the right side. Closing the door, I look around. Fuck, I think even if Rachel doesn't like this place, I sure as hell do. How do you get to the garage? I ask.
Like I said, this side is very private. There is a privacy fence gate out front for this side.
She tells me. Turning to Rachel, what do you think, baby? I ask, as she gives me a huge smile.
This place is a dream. I wish we could get it.
She says, then lowers her head in a pout. Why don't you go back up to the house? I tell Rachel, so she turns to go. Walking her to the door, I watch her go back to the house, then I close the door. Pulling out my phone, I pull up Cassie's number. I call her, putting it on speaker. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Chris. What can I do for you today?
She asks. I want to buy a house. It is out on the lake. I tell her with a smile.
Okay, who has the house?
She asks. So I hand the phone to Kate to answer the questions. Taking the phone, she says,
Hi, this is Kate with the Lake Realtor.
Nice to meet you, Kate. I'm Cassie, Chris's accounting agent.
Kate looks at me, then says,
This cabin and land is for sale for $150,000.
Not a problem. Go ahead and send everything to my office, and I will get all this started in the morning for Chris.
Cassie says, making me smile. With wide eyes, Kate hands the phone back to me. Thanks, Cassie, I tell her.
Not a problem. I will just need you to sign a few papers, as always.
Laughing, I say, yes, ma'am. Just send whatever needs signed over to Jake for me, I tell her.
Jake, so you are in Florida then?
She asks. Yup, I say, then add, later.
Later, sir.
Hanging up, I look at Kate. Any more questions?
Who are you, may I ask?
Kate asks. As I walk to the door, opening it, I turn. Christopher Preston. But she doesn't know that, and I want to keep it that way, I whisper, then walk out of the shop. When we get back to the house, Kate says,
I'm going back to the office to get started on the paperwork. You can lock up when you are ready to leave.
Turning to her, I say, make sure to let Cassie know I want the house furnished, so if that isn't in the price you gave her, make sure to add that, and I want new locks. Smiling, she says,
Yes, sir.
Then walks around the house. Walking inside, I find Rachel standing at the sink looking out the window. So I walk over, putting my hands on her hips. Do you really like this place? I whisper.
Yes, I do. It is genuinely nice, Chris.
I wish I knew what she was thinking right now. We stand in the quiet for a few minutes before she asks,
Are you moving out of the apartment?
No, I say, putting my chin on her shoulder.
You are going to buy this house, though?
She says, and a part of me wants to just tell her everything, but the other part of me is scared to death, and that part is winning at the moment. Yes, I am for us, but you still live at your parents', and I still live at the apartment with your brother. This place can be where we come to get away, I tell her, not really sure what else to say. I know she has a million questions. Hell, I would, if I was in her shoes. Taking a deep breath, I say, come sit with me, and I want to tell you something about me.
Like?
She says, turning to me. Why I don't want to tell you everything just yet, I say, hoping she understands. Walking past me, she doesn't go to the couch, but to the room, so I follow her. Climbing on the bed, she sits down and pats the bed next to her. So I lay down, pulling her close to me. When I was 14, a girl that was a friend asked me out, so I said yes. We dated for 2 years, but I never touched her, not even a hug. When we were 16, she found out she was pregnant and tried to say the baby was mine. I knew it was a lie. There was no way. But her and her mother bashed me and made life hell, not only for me, but my family. I moved away to get away from the drama, but it only made it worse. I stopped to take a deep breath as Rachel asked,
So, whose is the baby?
I don't know. My brother did a DNA test after the baby was born to prove I wasn't the father. I found out she not only slept with one of my best friends, but a lot of other guys.
Why would she do that to you?
She asked, with a frown, as she rolls on her back to look at me. Leaning up on my arm, I lean down and kiss my amazing girlfriend. Because of my name, my family, and money, I say, then add, so many people just want to use me for that stuff, and I hate it. My brother and sister don't seem to mind, but I hate it. But you are real, and I want to keep it that way as long as I can, I tell her, trying to be honest and hating that for once in my life, I really am scared to be honest.
So you think if I know, I wouldn't love you the same?
She asked, but one thing that she said has me asking, you love me? With a laugh, she says as she puts her hands on my face.
I'm starting to.
Making me smile. Then once again, the fear kicks in, so I ask, how do I know that you don't already know? Lifting up off the bed, she puts her hand on my chest, pushing me down onto the bed. When I'm flat on my back, she straddles my waist, and I'm instantly turned on.
Why do you think anything would change?
She asks. Not really sure how to answer that, I put my hands on her thighs. Putting her hands on mine, she lifts them above my head.
Why do you think how I feel about you will change if I know?
She asks, inches from my face. I lift my head to kiss her, but she pulls away, making me pout, because everyone changes when they find out. I tell her, then turn my head to the side.
Did my brother change?
She asked me, taking a minute to think. No, he doesn't treat me differently. So I say, no, he acts like my older brother most of the time though, making both of us laugh. Leaning down, she kisses my neck, then says,
It's not fair my brother knows more about my boyfriend than I do.
Then pouts. Shifting her weight, she rubs my dick, making me gasp and making her laugh as she adds,
What's wrong, Chris?
Looking down to look at where our hips are touching, I find myself looking down her shirt instead. So I say, nothing now, with a huge smile. Rachel looks down to see where I am looking, then says with a laugh,
Enjoying the view?
I don't answer, I just nod my head. Letting go of my hands, she sets up, making me pout as she adds,
I'll make you a deal. If you tell me your full name, I will take my shirt off.
Then puts her hands on the bottom of the shirt. I look at her. Fuck, I hate this because I want her to take the shirt off, but at the same time, if I tell her what she wants to hear, then how do I know that won't be why she does it? Taking a deep breath, I close my eyes.
You're lost, sir,
She says as she slides down my legs. I lift my head to see what she is doing when I feel her undo my jeans button and zipper. What are you doing? I stutter out, making her laugh.
Whatever I want to do.
She says, sticking her tongue out at me as she starts to pull my jeans down. Lifting my hips off the bed to help her, she takes them off, then throws my jeans on the floor. Looking down at me, her eyes lock on my extremely hard dick that is begging to be let out of my boxers. Slowly, she runs her hands from my calves up to the end of my boxers, never moving her eyes from me. Just as she is about to slide her hands under my boxers, she stops. Please, God, don't tell me this was a tease. She is looking up at my face, but I keep looking between her eyes and her hands until she whispers,
I want to, but I don't know how.
She wants to what? She doesn't know how to what? Fuck, I want to ask, but I don't want to sound stupid. She moves her hands and starts to climb off the bed, looking incredibly sad. I set up amazingly fast, wrapping my arms around her waist. Whispering in her ear, I say, "Please don't stop," then kiss her neck, making her shiver as she says,
"I've never done that before, and I don't want to mess it up."
Still not having a fucking clue what she is talking about, and really wishing I would have paid more attention in sex ed at the moment. "You know just as much as me, baby, so how can you mess it up?" I say, then take her hand. Slowly, I move her hand back to where I desperately want to feel her touch. She doesn't pull her hand away as I slowly rub it against my killer hard cock, making me almost want to come just by this. "Fuck," I pant and lay back, praying she won't stop, and thankfully she doesn't.
"Do you like that?"
she asks with a smile. "Hell yes," I tell her as I watch. Sliding my fingers in both sides of my boxers, I lift my hips as I slowly start to pull them down, watching Rachel's reaction. She swallows hard as she watches me, making me smile. Stopping my boxers just before I am free of them, I move my hands and whisper, "You want them off? You have to do that." She looks at my face, then to my boxers. After what feels like a lifetime, she puts her hands on my boxers, pulling them down. Turning back to me after my boxers are on the floor, she looks so nervous, so I tell her, "Baby, we can stop, and I will take you home." She doesn't answer, she only shakes her head as she moves her hands to my member. Slowly moving her hand up and down me, I add, "I changed my mind. Please God, don't stop," making her laugh. Fighting to keep my eyes open, I look at Rachel. I really want to watch her, but I don't want to make her uncomfortable, so I close my eyes and settle for rubbing her leg. I pop my eyes open and lift my head when I feel her mouth on me. Every muscle in my body tightens from this heavenly feeling right now. I don't know how much time passes, but I wish it were longer of her sucking on me before I say, "Baby, I'm going to come," thinking she is going to stop. But she only sucks harder as I relieve myself in her mouth. As she sets up, she has a huge smile, like she is enormously proud of what she did, as she should be, because damn, that was the best feeling ever. Laying there, I am panting, fighting to catch my breath, as Rachel lays her head on my chest, wrapping my arms around her as tight as I can without hurting her. When I am able to breathe normal, I say, "I wish I wasn't so damn scared to tell you everything, baby." At first, she doesn't say anything, but after a few minutes, she says,
"You were just saying that because you wanted me to take my shirt off,"
making me laugh. Lifting up, she leans on her arms and looks at me, bringing her other hand up to rub my tattoo on my neck, as she says,
"I do understand, baby."
After a moment of silence, she adds,
"You aren't the only one that is scared."
"Why would you be scared, baby?" I ask, setting up. Looking down, I laugh and get off the bed to get dressed. When I am dressed, Rachel says,
"That you will replace me or something?"
I sit on the bed, pulling her onto my lap. "Why would I do that?" I ask her.
"You are rich,"
she says, and makes my heart drop. Not understanding how me having money means I will do that to her, I say, "Huh?" Rachel lays her head on my shoulder and elaborates.
"Blake is rich, and I wasn't good enough for him because I wouldn't act like someone I'm not, and I wouldn't have sex with him."
Looking at her, I see the tears in her eyes. "Why were you even dating him?" I ask. She just shrugged, so I add, "First off, baby, please don't compare me to that jerk. That doesn't know how to treat a lady. Second, me and Blake are on two different levels when it comes to money, and at least I use my own money that I make myself and not my parents' money. I have bought everything I have with my own money since I was 8. Before that, I used my allowance money. My dad always made us work to get that. Looking up at me,
Can I borrow your car?
she asked, making me laugh at the subject change. Which one? I asked.
The Passat?
She laughs. So, you want to switch cars for a week? I ask, not really caring.
Yes.
She says, sounding incredibly happy. Pulling out my phone, I look at the time. We do have the time to get to the hotel and back before it's too late. Will your parents let you ride with me to get it? I ask, making her laugh.
I told my mom before we left I was hanging out with you.
Smiling, I stand her up so I can get up myself. As we walk out of the bedroom, Rachel stops and turns to me to ask,
Did you really buy this cabin?
Not yet, but I will be. I tell her, then add, why?
So I can come out here anytime I want?
She says with a smile. Kissing her neck, I tell her, yes, you can. When the new keys are made, I will let you know. Surprising me, she says,
Can we keep this between us for now?
what? I ask.
The cabin?
She tells me, looking around. Why would you want to do that? I ask, very curious.
I'm not asking to keep us a secret, just the cabin.
Not understanding why, I say, sure, very confused. Getting on the bike, we head for the hotel to pick up the car. When we get to the hotel, I go into the garage. There are 4 levels to this. The level you come in on, that is for valet parking. Then there are 2 levels above that for guests, and 1 level below that is for VIP guests. I go down to the lower level, to the back corner where my cars are at. Stopping at the gate, I let Rachel off, putting on the stand so I can open the gate.
This is where you park your cars?
Rachel asks, looking through the gate to the Passat. Some, yeah, I tell her, not thinking. When I have the gate open, I push the bike in and go over to the safe that the keys are in. Pulling out the Passat keys, I turn to see Rachel looking at the Porsche. Want to ride? I ask with a smile. She looks up at me and then says,
Not today.
Making me laugh, then asks, I would offer to let you borrow it, but it is a standard too, I say.
Too flashy.
She says, then walks to the Passat. That is why I don't drive it much. I laugh, walking to the passenger side with her. Handing her the keys, I whisper in her ear, You drive, making her smile. Running around to the driver's side, I laugh at my girl as I tell her, Pull out, I will lock up. After everything is locked up, I get in the car and head back to Rachel's house. When we get to the house, I see Josh at his car with the hood up. So I turn to Rachel. Why doesn't he get a better car? Making her laugh.
He had one, but he wrecked it, so that is what he could afford.
Getting out of the car, Josh and Mark poke their heads around the car, making me smile. Walking up to the guys as Rachel goes inside, I ask, So, what's wrong this time? Josh sticks his tongue out at me and says, The battery, I think. Go get a new one. I laugh. Not everyone can do that. Josh fusses. I can give you the money to go get a battery. Or a new car, I say, looking at him. This thing is crap. It is broken down more than it runs. No, Chris, Josh says, toying with his car. I'm not giving you a ride to work every day, so why not? I ask. What is it with this family and not wanting me to help? So I add, What, is my money not good enough for you or something? You know damn well that is not it, Christopher. He fusses, getting annoyed. But hell, so am I. Joshua? I say, knowing he hates that as much as I do. Looking around his car, he looks at mine. Since you have your car, you can give me a ride home tonight, and I will come back tomorrow with the battery. Can't. Your sister is borrowing the car for a week. I tell him with a smile. Why? Her car works just fine, he whines.
Because he is my boyfriend and I want to?
Rachel says, walking up to us. Then let me borrow your car, he asked his sister. Tell me his last name, she asked, making me look at Josh. Pulling out my wallet, I take out my ID and hand it to Mark behind Rachel while I am still looking at Josh. Mark takes the card, looking at it, and almost chokes on the water he just drank, or tried to, that is. Fuck, I was only guessing, but now I understand so much more, he says, handing it back to me. Rachel looks between the three of us, then whines,
"This isn't fair. Everyone knows more about my boyfriend than me. And why the hell didn't I think to just look in his wallet?"
then runs in the house. Pulling out some money, I take Josh's hand, putting the money in it, and say, "Fix it." Then take off to find my girl. Just as I get to the door, I hear Josh yell, "I only need a battery!" Walking inside, I find Stacy in the living room, but I don't see Rachel. Stacy doesn't say anything, she just points to the back, so I walk to Rachel's room. Walking in, I find Rachel laying face down on her bed, crying. Fuck, I made her cry, just because of my own fucking fear. Looking around the room, I see Rachel has some drawings on the wall. Looking closer, I notice a few of them are my tattoos, and a few are drawings of me. Damn, these are great, baby, I say. Looking around some more, I find her pom-poms. There are so many, I'm sure from years of cheerleading. Sitting on the bed, I add, "Just don't paint my car pink or anything, okay?" Making her laugh, that she tries to hide, but fails. "How much gas is in the car, do you know?" I ask, trying to get her to talk to me.
"Quarter, I think,"
she whispers. "Okay, do you want me to go fill it up, or do you want to take my card and do it yourself?" I ask.
"Neither,"
she answers. Laying on the bed next to her, I put my left arm over her back and my left leg between her legs. Laying my head on Rachel's shoulder, I whisper, "It isn't your responsibility to put gas in my car." But before she can answer, the door opens. "Here," Josh says, handing money back to me. I don't take it, or even move. "Do you even know how much you handed me?" Josh asks. Still not answering, I shake my head because, no, I don't. Turning my head to look at him as I say, "What is it with you two?" Then look at Rachel, who looks at me.
"What?"
she asks. But I move over just enough to lay my face down on the bed. "I'll take the price of the battery off the rent," Josh says, then walks out, closing the door. I will still give him the full amount, no matter what.
"He left the money on the dresser,"
Rachel says. Standing, I go to walk out of the room. I am so used to everyone wanting to take advantage of me that I am not used to people turning down my help. Opening the door, I hear Rachel.
"I love you,"
making me stop dead in my tracks and turn to her. "I love you too," I say, then walk out of the room. Finding the other three in the living room. "Can we go home?" I say, not even trying to hide how down I feel at the moment. "Yes. I don't know about you, but I have a busy day tomorrow," Josh says, but I don't answer. Walking out of the house, I go to Josh's car to wait.
"Baby, you forgot this on the dresser,"
Rachel says, walking out of the house, handing me the money back. Not saying a word, I walk over to my car, opening the passenger door. I put the money in the glove compartment.
"I'm sorry,"
Rachel whispers, as I open the door to Josh's car to get in. Rachel stands in the way of me closing the door, so I look at her. Sighing, she leans down and kisses me. Deepening the kiss, this almost makes the pain go away, but only for a moment. "No making out in my car," Josh says, getting in the driver's seat.
"Mean?"
Rachel says, kissing me one more time before she moves to let me close the door. Not really wanting to talk, I lean my head on the window and close my eyes.